Alright guys, Realms in Exile is without question the ultimate Lord of the Rings mod ever made. It transforms Paradox's CK3 into a vast, living Middle-earth complete with hundreds of characters, storylines, and events drawn straight from Tolkien's world. The campaign map stretches from the ruins of Arnor in the north to the deserts of Be'lakor in the south, with Gondor, Rohan, Mordor, Erebor, and more, from the 7 levels of Minas Tirith to the dark towers of Barad-dûr. It's a full recreation of Middle-earth through grand strategy, and in this video I'm going to show you everything you need to know about it and why Realms in Exile absolutely deserves to be your next CK3 campaign. Now, starting with the playable factions, what makes Realms in Exile stand out is how completely different every faction feels. You're not just changing your coat of arms, your looks, your feel, your tone, your pace, everything changes here. Every realm has its own moral struggle and playstyle built around Tolkien's themes of pride, decay, temptation, and ambition. Gondor, for example, is like ruling a dying kingdom at the edge of the world. You step, of course, into Denethor's shoes, managing a realm that's stretched thin between noble politics and the looming shadow of Mordor. This custom throne room lets you hold court, settle disputes, and manage the fragile web of loyalty that keeps Gondor alive, and Denethor's personal story events add an incredible sense of weight to your playthrough. You actually feel his pride, his paranoia, and the crushing inevitability of Gondor's decline. It is both tragic and incredibly tense, and it constantly forces you to balance diplomacy, faith, and war. Erebor, on the other hand, is all about pride and greed in classic dwarven style. As the dwarves of the Lonely Mountain, you'll rebuild wealth and prestige through mining, crafting, trade, but your success comes with temptation. Sauron may offer you a ring of power, and you'll have to decide whether to accept it or resist it, and you can even sack Thorin's tomb or reclaim Moria if you lose your homeland. Erebor is personally one of my favorite campaigns, and it rewards long-term planning and patience, but greed and pride have consequences, and they can destroy you faster than any invading army. And of course, Saruman is where the game gets truly dark. You'll forge alliances with the Dunlendings, industrialize Isengard, and decide whether to serve or challenge Sauron. The event writing here is especially phenomenal, portraying Saruman's descent with chilling precision. His power grows really quickly, but so does the danger, expand too fast, and Rohan will strike without mercy. It's a campaign of manipulation and hubris in the best possible way, where knowledge and ambition slowly consume you. Every single faction in the mod feels alive just like this, because the world is constantly reacting to everything you do and everything that everyone else is doing. Mordor expands, alliances shift, and wars break out across the map in ways that make each campaign completely unpredictable. One playthrough might see Gondor triumphant, and in another it might fall to shadows within decades. Every single campaign feels like your own retelling of Middle-earth, brutal, beautiful, and never the same twice. Now, for me though, what makes Realms in Exile feel so alive isn't just the map or the factions, it's the way it weaves lore into gameplay. Every decision you make, every character event, every crisis ties back to the mythology of Middle-earth. The devs have gone far beyond cosmetic changes here. They've restructured Crusader Kings 3 systems to reflect Tolkien's world of fading empires, doomed alliances, and personal moral struggle. Each culture has its own event chains and mechanics that fit perfectly into their story, of course. Gondor wrestles with legitimacy and dwindling strength. Denethor constantly faces internal dilemmas that question his loyalty and judgment. The dwarves focus on industry, trade, pride, with the ability to commission grand artifacts and sponsor craftsmen, even as their greed can lead to devastating consequences. And Saruman's campaign adds layers of manipulation, not just letting you industrialize Isengard, but also study forbidden lore, use the Palantir to spy on your rivals, or invite your own ruin. These events don't feel random, they feel like chapters in a living Lord of the Rings story. And the writing itself is outstanding. Decisions are more than just mechanical trade-offs, they're moral crossroads. The dwarves can be tempted by the rings, Gondor can lose Minas Tirith and rally to reclaim it, and Saruman can desecrate sacred elven sites in his rise to power. Many of these moments are fully voiced or richly described, giving the sense that you're not playing a mod at all, but a fully scripted adaptation of Tolkien's world. And for me, I would say the throne room system is another standout feature. Each major faction has has its own custom courts, Gondor's marble halls, Erebor's golden chambers, Isengard's iron fortress, all built to reflect their culture and history. You can hold audiences, settle disputes, manage diplomacy in spaces that feel completely unique to your ruler, and combined with the detailed character models, culture-specific art, handcrafted monuments like the Argonath or the ruins of Osgiliath, these scenes turn what used to be a spreadsheet simulator essentially into a properly cinematic experience. Essentially, every event, every alliance, every betrayal feels earned, and the deeper you go, the more the world seems to react to you and properly really progress. It's not just a map reskin like many other overhauls for CK3, it's a complete narrative overhaul that really makes the game feel completely different. I would say the biggest strength of Realms in Exile, though, isn't just its storytelling, it's how naturally it adapts Tolkien's world to the language of grand strategy, especially in this game. This is still CK3 at its core, with the same web of politics, alliances, intrigue, but the mod reshapes those systems into something far more alive, a lot more personal, and in a way that fits seamlessly into the world of Middle-earth. You're not just ruling for power here, you're ruling for survival, legitimacy, and legacy in a world that's collapsing in slow motion. Every campaign demands patience and foresight, resources are scarce, wars are absolutely brutal, and mistakes echo for generations. As Gondor, you can't simply expand like in vanilla CK3, you are stretched thin from the start, balancing the pride of your noble houses with the threat of Mordor's invasion. As Erebor, it's all about economic momentum and timing, building your fortune without succumbing to greed, and deciding when to finally take up arms. And as Saruman, of course, you are playing a political knife edge, trying to outthink both Sauron and Rohan without becoming the villain you swore to oppose. It's incredibly challenging, but so rewarding. Each faction forces you to adapt to a different philosophy of rule, and every one of them rewards caution and long-term thinking over quick conquest. The diplomacy and war systems, like I said, fit Middle-earth perfectly as well. Alliances matter more than ever, of course, whether it's Gondor needing Rohan's riders or the dwarves seeking trade with Dale. Cooperation feels absolutely vital. The AI has also been tuned to act more decisively, expanding and defending with purpose. Wars aren't constant, of course, but when they come, they feel momentous, a culmination of years of planning and scheming rather than just another war campaign, and it captures so well that Tolkien's sense of slow burning inevitability before the storm finally breaks. Overall, I would say that Realms in Exile is one of those rare mods that remind you what modders can do with passion and experience and proper vision. It doesn't just add Middle-earth to CK3, it rebuilds the entire experience into something more ambitious, more emotional, and a lot more alive. Every decision, every betrayal, every fragile alliance feels like it belongs in Tolkien's world, and somehow the game's political systems make that world feel more believable than ever. And the scale of what's been achieved here is really quite amazing, from the handcrafted cities of Gondor, the glittering halls of Erebor, to the industrial sprawl of Isengard, and the growing darkness of Mordor. This is Middle-earth fully realized in grand strategy form. It captures the tragedy, the temptation, the slow decay that defines Tolkien's writing, and lets you shape it in your own way. So whether you want to rule Gondor as its last great steward, forge an empire of dwarves under the mountain, or guide Saruman down his doomed path to power, Realms in Exile delivers something no other strategy mod ever has. A Middle-earth that feels like it's truly alive, where every legend can be rewritten, where it's challenging, and where the gameplay is honestly unforgettable. If you've ever wanted to step into Tolkien's world, not as a hero, but as the one making the impossible choices behind the scenes, this is the mod you need to play next. Either way, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more mod spotlights just like this on CK3 and on other games too, like Bannerlord or Total War. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.